How good of a mix can you do with just top-down mixing and faders? Well, today I decided to set out to try to figure that out and push the limits of it. If you're not familiar with top-down mixing is a process that's very, very popular with a lot of people. It's basically loading up, for example, your 2-bus chain with a ton of plugins that do heavy lifting. For example, having an EQ on there, so you have to use less EQ on your individual tracks, a compressor, limiters, saturators, etc., the whole 9 yards. So that begs the question, because top-down mixing is very fast for your workflow and is very, it's a very popular mixing technique. A lot of people really are into it. I was a huge proponent of it myself for quite a long time. I've said change my opinion, but that's another topic for another video for another day. Right now, I'm actually against top-down mixing. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head over to the DAW. And in the DAW here, I have an entire song that's 45 tracks. The song we are mixing today is by a band called Rival, and the song is called Odds, and this is something I mixed very, very long time ago. I want to say probably like 10 years ago. Oh, wow. And if you want to download and mix the song along with me here, you can go to nailthemix.com or urm.academy, same thing. And you can log in, you can go to menu here and portfolio builder, and you will find this under the portfolio builder track, so you can kind of do your own mix of it as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this session up, basically all 45 tracks, and I have some sends I'll explain. And we're just gonna mix this song straight up, top down, okay? So I'm going to apply processing only to my bus right here, and we're gonna mix it. The way this is set up for us to be able to do this, I have things pre-panned and routed as I want, just to save time so we don't have to bore you with endless panning and things like that. But we're gonna mix faders first. So before we put plugins on, we got to hear what we're mixing. I'm just going to get a quick fader balance. Then we're going to go and we're going to load up the bus with the top down stuff and just see how far we can take it and we can push it. And then at that point, we're going to go make some adjustments, and then we're going to clip gain instead of automating, right? To just adjust volumes and try to mix this entire song and see how good of a mix we can get. So this is going to be kind of fun. As you can see, I've got everything zeroed out. There's no plugins on anything. Everything is routed to the mix bus. I don't have anything complicated. There's no EQ on or anything like that, just to show you. See, all my EQs are flat. This is a 100% zeroed out mix. Now, the only problem with this mix I realized as I was setting up for it here was that we're gonna need some sort of sends here for the effects, because dry vocals are kind of lame. So the way I decided to get around that was I just loaded up stock Cubase RoomWorks at like a good default setting. I loaded up Steinberg stock stereo delay here in Cubase, just set it to a quarter note. And then I set up a micro shift here to do like a spreader effect, and I literally just opened it and closed it. So we're gonna use these 3 sends, and we're gonna send all of our vocals to them. So just to give you an example here, let me open up the sends. Still getting used to this Cubase 13 here. It's a little bit of a different UI than I'm used to. I just upgraded a while back here, about 2 weeks. Okay, so we've got all of the vocal tracks here are just going to the sends at Unity, so we can do this very quickly. That makes this mix as top down as possible. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna grab like the densest section of this song, right? Because if I hit play, nothing, right? I'm gonna grab the densest section of this song here, which is the chorus, and I'm gonna fader balance this song. We're gonna mix this whole song today, and we're gonna kind of do this like speed run style, where I'm gonna do this quick, but I'm gonna kind of narrate a little bit more than if I was speed running, where I would just shut my mouth so you can actually make some comments. Okay, I'm gonna shut up, and we're gonna fader balance this, and then we'll get to the top down mixing. So here we go. It's gonna take a minute. And I'm just playing around on my control surface over here. I don't have a over camera today. fun thing here about top-down mixing is we can't apply processing on anything, you know. So for example, I definitely want to EQ that floor tom, but we're not allowed to. So we've got a basic drum balance going here. Let me just check to make sure I didn't miss anything. We get into the hi-hat. Let's. Then I see 2 cymbal swells, so let's just bring those in real quick. We don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to begin the process of top-down mixing here because I've kind of got a drum level. All right, I've got some headroom there, and I'm not smashing or clipping anything here with the kick drum. So what I'm going to do, not that plug-in, I'm going to open up a flat line here as a limiter, and we're just going to smash this up a little bit. This plugin, it's just a nice, clean, quick limiter. You know, I literally just opened it, clicked on hybrid, and dragged the thing, close it, boom, we're done. So we'll come back to that in a little bit, but I just want to get some volume. Okay, so next thing, let's get moving on to some guitars here. Let's quickly balance this stuff. Hit some of these guitars and the other parts of the song. And I've got to remember to select them on the controller so you can see the fader move that I'm making with my finger. So as we're mixing this, I'm starting to hear some problems. Like I definitely want to EQ some things in the guitars. I want to get more room out of the drums. I want to get a little bit more impact, a little bit more punch, things like that. But again, we can't touch anything. So we're going to have to do it on the top down. So as I'm doing this and as I'm balancing this, I'm kind of thinking in my head, like what problems we're having and how I can solve them a little bit later. All right, so at this point, we've got a little bit going on here. Let's get some bass in here. We've got some basic levels. At this point, we're going to start introducing a little bit of top-down mixing because we have something to grab onto by putting on a mix bus compressor. So let's open up this Townhouse. This is a pretty good one. I've just got this set at like 4:1, 30.1. I like slow attack, fast release. That's my own preference. That starts making it sound more like a mix. Okay, so now we are mixing into the compressor and we've started to begin top-down mixing. Okay, let's take a look at like this bass balance. I just kind of grabbed both of them and just jammed them up. All right, so far so good. Just checking all my guitars. We've got a loose drum balance. We've got a loose bass balance. Some parts are gonna sound a little weird. Like there's definitely some imbalances like here. But right now we just want to get everything framed in, and then we'll go back and we'll kind of tweak all that stuff with click gain. Let's load up the auxiliary stuff here now and see what is going to happen when we do that. Piano. For example, the bass is totally killing the mix right here, but it's definitely too loud, but in the chorus, it's at a much better volume. So again, we'll readjust that a little bit later after we start doing heavy top-down mixing. A band like this is kind of fun to mix because they have a lot of dynamic sections and a ton of parts and textures. Okay, we've got all the post stuff. Let me just check through that real quick. Well, come on, really? Do you hate it when you click on the wrong thing? We left one track. It doesn't look like there's anything on that. All right, cool. That's a dead track. Let's get that out of the session here. Okay, so we've got a pretty rough static mix. Let's start working on vocals, and you can see by the amount of dynamics in vocals, for example, here, we are definitely going to have some balancing challenges coming up. So I'm gonna nuke these sends real quick, turn those down so we don't have to listen to reverb and just get a rough balance. Okay, let's take a look at these two. How much I wish I could grab an EQ right now. Wow. There's a lot of things I want to EQ. It's also hard to mix vocals without dynamics processing. So, hey, but again, we'll get it on the top down. Okay, let me get this other vocal balanced in here. There's just a couple more. Now, as we get the vocals in here, some of the balances start shaping up a little bit different. Definitely things I want to change, but I'm going to wait till we top down because it's going to affect the balances. Okay, so let's get these effects feathered in here. I'm just trying to get the reverb to kind of match the ambience of the drum. Just back off a little. All right. We have a pretty decent static balance going on. It definitely needs a little bit of work, but let's start top-down mixing. Here we go. All right, open up our mixer. Let's make this sound better. First things first, I'm gonna grab an EQ, and I just love this plugin right now. This is like one of my favorite plugins that's come out. This EQ is freaking incredible. Let's saturate it.
Yes, I am colossal.
So that already sounds bigger and more aggressive. Let's EQ it.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world believes to know.
There's my bottom end.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world believes to know. And yet I'm still a man that's bad stuck in his own head.
That plugin is so amazing. It's so good. Okay, let's beef up the bottom on it a little bit. I'm gonna put some subharmonic synthesis on here. I'm just gonna do a little bit of max bass, load just a preset here, which is just 85.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no
That's a little bit nicer. Let's check our volume.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world believes to know. And yet
All right, now we're finally at a respectable level, like 6 LUFS, which is actually pretty quiet compared to how I mix normally. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do here is let's try some more saturation on this. Let's try Saturn, and Saturn's got a cool preset. I'm gonna steal this from the book of Buster Odahome, and this one is kind of cool sometimes. Let's see what this does.
yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world.
Starting to sound like a mix finally. I'm gonna put a linear multiband on this to kind of make a dynamic EQ and just give the mix a little bit more compression. Let's see what happens.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world believes to know.
That kind of just tightens the mix up a little.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world.
Okay, that sounds good. And then I'm gonna throw another little bit of sauce on this. One of my own plugins here, play with some more transformer saturation, and this button always makes stuff sound better, which it's got different stages of saturation, a little bit of MSEQ. It's got a bunch of stuff in it.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest.
Nickel today sounds good to my ear.
Yes, I am colossal.
So you can see we've done a lot of damage here. Let's turn this off. Here's what we had.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see the world believes to know. And yet I'm still a man that's bad stuck in his own
You can see we've come pretty far with just a little bit of top-down mixing. That's a massive transformation. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go balance this out a little bit more and see how much, you know, we can improve what we've got here. Okay, so first things first.
Yes, I am colossal.
I feel like my kick's a little bit hot, especially in other parts of the song. Let me kick over to like
So let the night unfold. Let the truth be told. Yes, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm about to see.
I might have my crash is a bit hot.
Yes, I am colossal. The empire
Let me hear like a riff part.
no answers lie in broken glass. Let the truth be told.
See, that's where not having a compressor is tough. You've got some splashes and spot mic,
Bottle.
and it's kind of hard to get that balanced right.
I am colossal.
Like the toms, they stick out a lot in the verse, but they sound pretty good here. Experiment with a little bit more room mic. All right, that's working. Let's go work on these guitars and this bass a little bit and see if we can push those levels a little bit into a better spot. Biggest downfall of control surfaces is it's so hard to read what track you're on. It's nice on a console because you have a scribble strip in front of you, but on a control surface, it's like, you know, these names are just not working, and I probably should have adjusted that before I started mixing, but hey, you know. All right, that sounded better over here. I mean, it's crazy how far this has come with like almost nothing on it other than just some bus processing. I'm a little more balanced on the vocals, and let's clean this up. Speed hack for Cubase, if you don't know, you can select multiple channels and you can hit Alt Shift down and you can raise all of the faders up and down together. It's pretty neat, isn't that? Same thing with like the EQ and all that stuff. Oh, we forgot these throws. Here's another pair of vocals that didn't get brought up. What about these here? These are good. All right, I mean, that's working for a pretty fast mix. We're in a good spot. So let's go through now and adjust this stuff here. And if I was actually mixing this song and I was going to do a top-down mix, I would actually mix it just like this and try to get it as good as possible and then start going after the individual channels. Like, for example, if we want the kick drum to be beefier or put a different sample on it, or, you know, we want to add a room or saturate it, etc. So this is how I would approach it. Balance first, top down it, clip gain the automation to kind of get everything balanced, and then go beef everything up. Okay, so let's kind of go through this song and just play this and very quickly clip gain stuff and get things in balance. Okay, so that's a little loud. What I love about Cubase is it's got this info line up here. I can take my mouse wheel and just go like this. It's so fast. Same thing, I can come down here. I can see that that part needs to come down. I can just automate. And I don't have to screw around. I don't have to draw anything. I don't have to, like, you know what I mean? It's just fast and easy. Let's get this bass down in this verse. That was the first thing that was bothering me. I think the kick and the snare are a little bit hot in the verse here, so let's turn those down just a pinch. You can see how fast it is to just kind of go like this and come in here and grab some tracks and just clip gain them a little bit. Not too much to comprehend. Let me adjust those shakers. So you can see this comes together real fast when you do it this way. Not too much to comprehend. Vocals are too quiet. Let's give them a little bit of juice. Not too much to comprehend. No answers lying broke. I wish I could EQ automate those. They're a little bit on the thick side, but hey, top down only. No answers lying broken glass and boredom. just trying to create a bit of a dynamic here, bringing the verse down so it grows. Normally you could just do this with master bus automation, but again, I'm trying to just do this clip gain only.
Is it better? And after this, I am colossal. The empire no one dares to contest. And I'm the fallacy the world believes to know. And yet I'm still a man that's bad stuff. Never, never pay, but I'm more likely. Never, never pay, but I'm more likely. So that the
We come back to a section like this.
so that
We're gonna go back to our kick snare automation. So we're gonna grab these tracks right here, the bottom, the top, and we're gonna automate that.
so that the
I didn't even snap this to a tempo. How crazy is that? Amazing. Literally just threw these files in and started.
so that the night unfold, let the truth be told.
So yeah, how do you get a part like that out? Okay, let's zoom in on this. Let's turn up the hi-hats here a little bit.
So that the night
Sorry, not the hi-hats, I'm in the rides. And the best way to do that, I feel like, is come in here like this, up to here, pull this back, and smash this.
so that the night unfold, let the truth be told. Let
And we'll nuke that, turn that down a little bit.
it be told.
What's good is it's still kind of in the room mics, so you can kind of get away with these automation moves.
Be told. Let it go.
Ripping through this.
Let it go.
The vocals are a little bit loud here.
So that the night unfold, let the truth be told. Let it go.
Comes back in energy.
I've wasted time in
Just bring this back like a dB, 2 dB, maybe a little bit.
I've wasted time in this bottle. There's too much to comprehend. And I'm in every bay, but I'm more.
I think it's important with mixing, you just kind of grab your first impulse, you know what I mean? Like, don't overthink it.
But I'm more lively.
Nice.
And after this,
All right, this definitely needs to come down. These tom fills are just crazy in this part. I think in the first verse, I actually missed this one. All right, that's better.
and after this, I am colossal.
And you can see that we've mixed this entire song with only top-down mixing and clip gain, and we've already got it this far. Is it the best mix ever in the history of the world? Absolutely not. But as a starting point for actual mixing, it's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. Let's take a look at the top-down stuff again one more time here. Compressor adds the glue. And then I went for an EQ because we needed it. To make it come alive, we added a little bit of saturation on it to kind of simulate what would happen in like the analog world. We added a subharmonic synthesizer to kind of beef up the bottom. So I don't even care that that's clipping. Added a little bit more tape saturation. This is kind of like, tube saturation to this, very gentle. It just bigs everything up. A little bit of compression here, multiband to just control the dynamics and keep it kind of even. You can hear how it cleans up that mid-range and like the vocals and the guitars. Makes the mix sound a little bit tighter, and then we threw on some more saturation. And then we're gonna gain it up to actual level. So before, top-down mixing. So you can see with the right plugins, and again, what you're gonna do is different than what I'm gonna do. With the right plugins and the right song and the right kind of top-down chain, you can actually get your mix pretty decent spot. It still needs some work, but definitely without automating anything, just using clip gain, just using top-down mixing and some faders, we've actually turned this song in a pretty relatively quick period of time into something that pretty much works as a mix. And we just kind of smooth out some edges and enhance a few things. And I think we would be there and we could probably send it to the band. So there you go. Top-down mixing is pretty cool. It can be a weapon. It definitely works for a lot of people. Like I said, if you want to mix along with this, head over to nailthemix.com, sign up, and go grab these tracks from the Portfolio Builder section and try it yourself and see how far that you can get. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave me a comment below, click the notification bell to subscribe, and give me a like. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you want to learn how to actually mix, head over to nailthemix.com, which is the coolest place in the internet to learn how to mix heavy music, rock, metal, etc., and every genre of it in between. That's all there. Thank you so much for watching, and happy mixing, everybody.